Hi, Erik Linask here at Interop in Las Vegas. I'm talking with Milind Pansare from a company called Saba. Milind, welcome. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you. I'm pleased to be here.
So, tell me a little bit about Saba. We haven't had a chance to talk before.
Sure. So Saba is known as a leader in the learning and people management space. We are a public company. We were founded in 1997 and have been consistently profitable. It's about a $110 million company in revenues. And the best thing about Saba is our customers. We have some of the most amazing and passionate users of Saba products. And maybe a little fact for your viewers is that 51 of the Fortune 100 companies are Saba customers. We have over 1,300 customers in about 170 countries, and our products are available in 14 languages, so we're pretty global.
So you can safely say that a majority of the Fortune 100 companies.
A majority indeed.
So you mentioned the customers and their happiness with your product. Tell me about your product sets. You mentioned that you have basically 4 different product lines.
That's right. So Saba is a leader in the learning quadrant. So if you look at any of the analysts, Gartner, we are recognized leaders in enterprise learning. Saba is also a visionary and a leader in people management software. So companies like Hewlett-Packard, for example, when you're doing your performance review process, you're using Saba. When you're doing learning in a large company like Hitachi, you're basically using Saba as well. But Saba is also very strong in collaboration. Saba Centra is an enterprise web conferencing platform that has powered several of the largest companies as well as government organizations. So for example, a typical customer would be the IRS. Last year the IRS saved over $49 million using Saba Centra for all of their training and their enterprise web conferencing needs, and over the life of their deployment. So Saba's had a track record of Saba Centra being used by customers for over a decade now. So the IRS over the life of 9 years has saved about $205 million using Saba Centra. And in fact, we're pretty pleased with that.
Oh, that's fantastic. Now, let's talk a little bit about social networking, particularly in the enterprise. I know that's something else that you're focusing on.
Absolutely. So one of the realizations that we had, being so strong in the people management and the learning space, is that the nature of the organization is changing. You have multi-generational workers in the organization, and on the outside, in your day-to-day life, you use Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, everything moves fast, it's on your cell phone, on your iPad. You come to work and you get these old blue screen environments, right? So it doesn't work anymore. And this is something where we've taken the lead in the HR space as well. So we just introduced, for example, a new product called Saba Impressions. Now Saba Impressions allows you to take Twitter-like performance reviews. So let's say, my colleague Jenny did a great job of setting us up for this interview. And I think she's doing an excellent job. I'm going to rate her 5 stars. And I'm going to put in a quick little tweet that says, this is what she did. Well, typically you would do that in an email. Your manager may or may not do anything with it when you have your performance review. What we've done is we've integrated Saba Impressions into the HR suite. So now this information can be given some weight when you go to do your performance review process, right? So that's an example of taking social technologies to make an existing business process better. So again, we are using social technologies to make learning better. So if you imagine web conferencing, you and I could have a quick web conference and a meeting, and that information is transient and it's lost. You might store a recording somewhere, but whoever goes back to look at those recordings. So what we're doing with the enterprise social platform is you can share these resources with your group and your coworkers. So let's say the 2 of us had a meeting, but a third person who should have been missed out. You share it with them. You can share it on your wall just as you do on Facebook. And it's really a focus on getting work done and not so much just chatter for the sake of having a social conversation, if you will.
But why not just use Facebook or something like that and set up a corporate group in Facebook?
Absolutely. One of the issues that companies have, of course, is you do want to have corporate policies around how your employees can communicate and what stays behind the firewall and what goes outside the firewall. So Facebook is a great way to share information that's informal with your friends. But do you really want to have all of your corporate data? When you're getting work done, this is my marketing plan, this is my messages for key analysts. Am I going to put that out on Facebook? I don't think so. So this is all about bringing in those technologies inside the firewall, having enterprise-grade scale, having enterprise-grade security, access control, fitting within the policies within an organization. So a great example is, there are countries where you cannot export HR information outside the border of that country. Germany is a good example, right? And just about any large corporation would have a portion of their operation in Germany in this example. So again, you couldn't do that with something like a Facebook. You would do that in something like Saba Social.
How much education has to go into talking to businesses about bringing that social environment into the
That's
enterprise
a great
environment?
question. That's a great question. This has been one of the most interesting questions in the Enterprise 2.0 world, which is it's not just about the tool set. It's all about making sure that you also have organizational change and that you have organizational change for a purpose. And that purpose has to fit into an existing business process. So for example, it's a very natural conversation for Saba when we talk to the chief HR officer of a company and we talk about the benefits of bringing social network analysis and some of these technologies into an existing business process. Then they come back and in fact, this is very true with some of our large customers, where they bring in their CIOs and they go, okay, this is larger than just HR. It's larger than just learning. We now need to have a strategy for CIOs. And, and we are working with some of our top customers on those transitions.
Excellent. We've been talking here with Milind Pansare from Saba. Milind, thank you very much for joining us this morning.
My pleasure. Thank you very much.